All right, and we're back. It is a new day. We're standing here. Still stoked. We're standing here at our place of victory. Woo. It's already been a kind of a stressful day. I had a lot of job interviews today. I think I mentioned earlier, Sekiro's from software games generally are like a stress relief for me. I turn to them in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me. This has definitely been a stressful little bit, and so I had like a back-to-back-to-back interviews, and it just tanked me. So I mean, we're hoping for good stuff, but to decompress, we did a couple of quick shots of whiskey because I feel like this is drunk Sekiro. We're supposed to do this a little bit inebriated, so I wanted to catch up, and now we're doing a coffee whiskey combo, going for a 1-to-1 ratio on that one. We'll see how that plays out. So let me see, where are we? Took down Genichiro, so we're kind of done with Act 1 here. So now there's gonna be a lot of conversations we're gonna have this go around. I'll try to whip through them fairly quickly. Get us back to more gameplay stuff, but we gotta check in with everyone first, get a feel for our next couple steps.
At long last, I've managed to fulfill my master's orders. I give you my thanks.
Who exactly do you serve?
Isshin Ashina. I am a doctor in the service of Lord Isshin.
Why were you ordered to help me?
Lord Isshin has no desire to use the power of the dragon's heritage. That is why he...
He tried to help Lord Kuro escape Ashina.
Correct.
The message I found in the well, that was your doing?
Also correct. My duties have concluded. But there's someone I think you'd like to see. Lord Kuro is downstairs.
Hey, we finally got him. Ugh. This is the longest fetch quest, I swear. We're gonna grab this idol. Do we need it? Not really. There's one right above our heads, but whatever. Did we? Yeah, we reviewed our memory. Oh, one second, I want to check something. Alright.
I have come for you, my lord.
Yes, you did well to come here.
Let us go. We must leave Ashina.
Wolf, my blood. The blood of the dragon causes men to become undying. The same goes for you.
Yes, my lord.
I wished to save you. I'm sure that I would do the same thing given another chance. However, undying begets stagnation. The immortal oath, the rejuvenating waters, the dragon rot, they all corrupt men to the point that they no longer live as men. I wish to sever the chains of stagnation bred by the dragon's heritage. Wolf, will you help me achieve this aim?
I want to say this always plays out more or less the same way. But like, I have my own stance on things. We always help Kuro.
I cannot break the Iron Code. Father, I cannot.
Ugh.
I cannot. To protect you, the divine heir. That was the duty my father entrusted to me.
How many times have you died and come back to life for my sake? 2, 3 times? Or perhaps a number so large that it cannot be counted?
As it was for the purpose of defending my lord.
Shade.
That does not matter.
I do not
Throwing
wish to
shade at
bind
me.
you to an eternity of undeath. Wolf, join me in my quest to sever the ties of immortality.
As you wish.
Thank you, loyal wolf.
I do love that. Like, it's such a subtle thing. Just be like, how many times did you die? Was it once? Twice? Uncountable? If you just died 1,000 times? Damn. I mean, it's closer to the latter, but still, he didn't have to say it.
If we are seeking to sever the immortal ties, I know a good place to start. Wolf, look at this.
Alright, Immortal Severance Text. A book from Kuro on the art of severing ties, Dragon's heritage. It looks old. Binding is torn and several pages are missing. Quote, herein describes the means to perform the rite of immortal severance. Beyond the Fountainhead Palace, locate the sanctuary, and imbibe the tears of the holy dragon of the divine realm. Sounds straightforward enough. How hard could it be?
It's an ancient record that was kept in Ashina Castle.
Sacred dragon tears from the divine realm.
Yes. It is my belief that with the dragon tears, it may be possible to sever the dragon's heritage.
But the divine realm? How do we...
I know. Wolf, that incense burner over there, it belonged to a person of interest. Take a look.
So, basically, our master's like, hey, I don't want to be, I don't have this immortal blood anymore. I think it's a bad deal. I think it's screwing stuff up. So I'm going to task you to go to heaven, fight God, and bring me back his tears.
Is there something special about it?
I'm told that long ago, there was another divine heir living here in Ashina Castle. His name was Lord Takeru. This incense burner belonged to him.
Where is he now?
He died a long time ago, apparently. Wrapped in the aroma of the fountainhead, I returned to the divine realm. Those are supposedly the words he left behind.
You're saying the scent of the fountainhead is the key to reaching the divine realm?
That is my belief. Wolf, let us discover the truth together.
Okay, so this is when we really start on our actual quest. Now that we're with Kuro, we're gonna have a lot of conversations real quick. I'll just let them play out.
Now, as to how we begin our search, I am certain some of Lord Takeru's books remain in this castle. Books that he collected in order to find the divine realm. I will search for them.
In addition to finding a way to reach the divine realm, might we also look into how we might sever the immortal ties?
A fine suggestion. Talk to Ishin. If anyone knows the answer, it is him. Wolf, come with me.
Just slightly across the room. The ambiance is better here.
Lord Ishin is not within this castle citadel. I'm told he is recuperating in one of these watchtowers. However, the path to his watchtower is closed. His health is a little...
How do I get in?
On the roof. There's a path patrolled by the Nightjar Ninja. It's intended for shinobi, but I imagine that won't be a problem for you.
I've heard the Nightjar use smoke signals as landmarks.
Yes, so if you follow their smoke signals, you should be able to reach Lord Ishin, and you can use this window to reach the roof.
Yep. I'm gonna run around. If I remember right, there's something back here. 1 second. Yeah. Scrap magnetite, whatever. I don't know if he's got any more to say.
Find Lord Ishin, and ask if he knows how we might sever the ties of immortality. He's recuperating in one of the... Reach the roof from that open window. Then follow the... I entrust.
Okay, so yeah, go find Ishin. I think Emma might have something more to say. I'll go talk to her. Find out.
My lord is not in this castle keep. He is in one of the separate watchtowers. But Lord Ishin is not well. Which is why entry into his tower is not allowed.
We'd actually already made it to his tower previously, if you remember back to whatever episode that was. I think it was the last one. I'm gonna quickly reset the world state just to make sure Nobody moves around with anything to say.
My lord is...
No. And I think we're just gonna go talk to Ishin. I love Ishin.
Find Lord. He's reached the room.
Okay, so we know all this. All right, let's go to Ishin. Ishin Ashina is one of the best characters in this game. Right now he's an old man, but like, dude's hardcore. So it's not that one. Maybe... Yeah, it's this one. So you can follow those Nightjar like smoke signals if you're so inclined, but it's also just the one with this little like bridge roof over to it. Door's closed. Yeah, so here's Ishin. Ah! Who did we upset? Hold on, let me find our battle. Someone's grumpy. Oh, are you below me? Okay, well, sorry about that. We're gonna break all of Ishin's stuff. Yeah, so if you pay close attention, this is like a subtle one of those environmental storytelling things. So Ishin wasn't here before. He was off, and he had a note that he'd left for Emma. But here on the wall, where it wasn't before, is a Tengu costume. So here's Ishin, old man, real sick. That's why Emma's taking care of him. He's getting pretty on in years, which is why Genichiro's in charge of everything. But like the implication here is like he is the Tengu, so he's the one who gave you the task before. He's also the one that gives you the Ashina text, which we don't technically need. But he teaches you dope fighting techniques. It also means that like even as an old man, he just took it upon himself to go murder ninja assassins, which I think is a great way to spend your retirement, honestly.
About the Divine Heir's life,
Yes?
there is something I wish to ask.
Before that, sake.
What?
You earned it. Take it.
Unrefined sake, a bottle of cloudy, unrefined sake given by Ishin. Sake is a drink meant for sharing. Cloudy sake is one of Ashina's favorites. It has a rich, full-bodied flavor. On the other hand, it has a reputation for getting one too drunk too quickly. So Ishin's the first one who sort of introduces this mechanic, and I'm going to try to navigate. I may have to Google how to do it properly. We're going to get a lot of different kinds of sake throughout the game, and there's a lot of story elements you get, obviously, from talking with people, but one of the way you get certain story elements from characters is to drink with them, which I really love. Depending on which sake you give them, you'll get a different outcome, and you don't quite have enough sakes of each kind to do every kind. So kind of piecing stuff together, like which sakes kind of go with which person, is part of it. You always get something, but it's not always as key or important. So basically, if you want to understand the world, it pays to get drunk with the NPCs.
My
We'll
grandson
do it with Ishin right now.
was bewitched by the rejuvenating waters. You did well to put a stop to that for me. You have my thanks.
I merely followed the code my father taught me.
Ah, the Iron Code of the Shinobi.
I see. So you're the son of Owl.
That boy he found during the rebellion.
Yes.
And your travels brought you here. The bonds that tie us are so deeply amusing. Don't you think, Sekiro? So what do you wish to know?
So many things.
The Divine Heir's desire is to sever the ties of immortality. I want to know how it can be done.
The Mortal Blade. If you had such a weapon. It may be the key to what you're after.
The mortal blade.
With it, you could kill one who cannot die through normal means.
One who cannot die.
The Infested, I believe they're called. I have not seen one before, but it said you could stab them through the heart, or remove their head, and they wouldn't die. If the stories are true, they'd surely be quite fearsome. To kill a monster such as that, you'd need the mortal blade.
Where is
Follow up.
this mortal blade?
I've heard it's held in Sempo Temple. However, they say the mortal blade cannot be drawn.
What do you mean?
I am not certain of the meaning. It's just hearsay. The gates to that temple are closed now, though. Who knows what those degenerates are doing shut away up there in the mountains. There aren't any decent roads leading there.
Okay. We're gonna give him the drink. I don't think I'm supposed to give him the sake, but screw it. Oh, hey, I get to hold some from before. Okay, so we've got Ashina sake, monkey booze. We'll give him the Ashina.
I brought sake.
Smart thinking, my boy. Let me see. That's some good sake. This is how we drank when we won our battles. The people of Ashina, together as one.
Could you tell me about the rebellion?
Oh, the rebellion. We just took back what was stolen from us.
That's...
Before this land was... It's a place where we, the Ashina people, lived, where the waters flowed straight from the source. We were a people who loved our country dearly. And we made good sake to boot. But we were heretics. And we were weak. Naturally, we were overrun. Trampled into submission for many long, excruciating years. We couldn't even pray at the water from the springs. The way we were then. Even good sake couldn't get us truly drunk.
But then the world fell into chaos.
Yes, amidst the chaos that was Japan. The endless casualties. The flames of war. We found the perfect opportunity to take back our land. But now, it's a place of death. It's a bitter thing indeed.
Alright. We're gonna hold on to some of our sake for now.
Severing immortality. That will be quite the battle. And in battle, the plans and desires of those involved churn endlessly. If you hesitate, you'll be swept away.
And lose the battle.
That's right. Best you keep it in mind. Sekiro, hesitate, and you lose.
Gah! He's so cool, man. I need an Ishin in my life. Okay, let me make sure there's nothing that needs to be explained. So, interesting thing, you know, so we're talking about, like, these rejuvenating waters and whatnot. That's what Kenichiro used to come back, all of that. You know, the implication is that these are old. You know, they couldn't worship at the waters. And that'll, like, slowly get fleshed out a little bit. But, you know, From Software games tend to focus on sort of, like, decay and corruption, the end of things, the end of cycles. And so there was a time in the past where things worked one way. And it seems like there was a religion and a culture that existed that had done well, but at this point things are falling apart. You know, despite the success of Ishin and his rebellion and whatnot, we're going to see a little bit more of that over time. You get an idea, but like a lot of this game is just meditating on immortality and the path of a person and all kinds of interesting philosophical things that at some point I'll probably get drunk enough to talk about. If but I know myself. For now, it doesn't matter. What I think we're going to do... So that would normally be the part of the game where we'd get sent off to Senpo Temple. Since we've already done the Senpo Temple thing, we're just going to go there right now. There's kind of a couple paths we could take from this point on. It's a branching game. You can approach it in a lot of different ways. I think we're gonna go there and get the Mortal Blade like we're supposed to. Because the other paths we're gonna have are gonna be very combat intensive, and I'm not quite drunk enough for combat for it to feel right for Monkey Booze. So instead, what we're gonna do is go finish the Mortal Blade stuff, and you'll get to see one of the more interesting boss battles, I think, in this game. Yeah, well, we'll just go do it. So, we remember if we talked to that one monk, and he mentioned the holy person was kind of unreachable in the inner sanctum. This is where we're gonna get a chance to sort of address that issue. So our monk friend is gone. So if you get up to this point, we met that monk here. If you get to this point after you kill Genichiro, he's already gone, so he doesn't give you that book that he gave us. You can still get it. Back a little earlier, there was that pool with the treasure carp. So if you get to the point of the game where you learn the breathing technique to let you dive, you'll find the text down there. But that's much further in the game, so it's better to have it now. So, but you will notice that there's this bell here, and in true fashion, we're just gonna ring the bell.
Three monkeys. One of the panels is empty.
Phew. So we made it to the elusive hall. We also got this bell. Can be used repeatedly when rung. Monkeys and wolves alike are returned to their initial states. However, a monkey caught in the folding screen will not escape whether the bell is rung or not. So, here's how this thing works. There's a guy who's going to be able to tell us this, but I'm going to do something real quick before we get into that. Each of the monkeys there, it's physically present. We're going to hunt them down and murder them. And when we murder them, they get re-trapped into the folding screen. So, the way this works, hunt the monkeys, kill them, and then if things get a little out of hand, you can reset the world state. And any monkey you've already killed stays dead. The rest of the monkeys go back to their initial positions, and you can hunt them again. They each have a thing, right? So one monkey can see really well, but they're pretty easy to sneak up on if he doesn't actually have line of sight. One monkey can't see well, but he can hear really well. One monkey's just loud, so if he sees you, he makes a lot of noise, and all the other monkeys panic. And then there's also the invisible fourth pane, which we'll deal with later. But for now, we're just gonna gun it. Fuck you, monkey. He's just down there, isn't he? Okay, I'm pretty sure he's below me, and I think there's a way to go get him. Those monkeys don't count. Those are terror monkeys. I hate them, but they're not our quarry. Terror monkey. As we kill monkeys, we're gonna get more and more following us. I think he's in here. Well, sometimes you jump to your death. Since we're waiting, we'll talk to this guy.
Yet another who is lost in the halls of Erunia. I believe you are on a mission and wish to leave this place.
Yes.
Then you must defeat the monkeys depicted on the panels at the hall entrance. Once you have done so, the divine child's voice will reach you. The monkey on the purple kimono is the seeing monkey. He has excellent eyesight, can see great distances, and is very attentive. If he spots you, he will run immediately. He is exceedingly timid. The monkey in the orange kimono is the speaking monkey. While he does not have particularly good eyesight or hearing, he makes a big fuss when he sees a threat, causing all the other monkeys to run. Or perhaps he merely enjoys toying with humans. The monkey in the green kimono is the hearing monkey. He has excellent hearing, can hear across great distances, and is very attentive. He will generally run away the moment he hears you coming, making it hard to approach. He is exceedingly timid. I do not wish to leave the Halls of Illusion. It is usually quiet here, which means it is near to Nirvana in its own way. At least, that is how it feels to me. Oh yes. By the way, there was once someone who, like you, was on a mission. I believe he chased the monkeys for a while, but everything here eventually went silent. I pray that you succeed.
Yeah, so he basically tells us how the monkeys work. I'm gonna grab Shurikens, because they're usually pretty good on animals. We'll see what we can do. So, the monkeys have little paw prints when they walk around. Nope, so that didn't work out. Ugh. Okay, so green monkey's over there. So let's go for it. Okay, so we're supposed to chase them into particular locations and then take them down. So that's what we're gonna do. To facilitate that... See, this one's dark though. I think we're supposed to get towards the, we're supposed to get the seeing monkey in here, and that's the purple one, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna use a Gaijins and see if maybe we can make ourselves a little more sneaky. Fuck no. Oh no! I'm so bad at this battle. Ugh. So one monkey's up there, but there's one over that way, and we're gonna go see if we can get him. God, I hate you. Ugh. Now he's back in this frickin' blind place. I've only ever won this battle just off of, like, blind luck, if I'm being honest. Fuck you, purple monkey. So this is how it's supposed to go. So if you remember, the purple monkey can see... and so this place is dark, so he can't see you. And there's a place full of rushing water. That's where we want to get the green monkey to, ideally. Cute terror monkey. Ah! Obviously, these monkeys build up terror, which is a nightmare. As we kill monkeys, more terror monkeys will arise. That's also not ideal. What are you gonna do? We may actually... we may reset. No, I wanted... key items? Seems right. These are key items. Huh. Here? Yeah, okay. We'll hit the bell. So as you can see, our purple monkey and red monkey are now facing away. We just got that nightmare green monkey. Who's there? I keep wanting to, like, knock that dude out, but that's obviously not gonna happen. We're gonna see if we can push him more in the direction that we want. Ah, fuck you, terror monkey. Which we may have now. He definitely went somewhere this way. What are the odds? Slim to none. There's always one nightmare monkey. I swear to God, if he just came back here. This guy. I'm hoping that's just upsetting to him. Suck it! Dope, 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 dope. Okay, so those are the big monkeys. Everyone's dead. Now, if you hear... This whole time we've been having... all of these, footsteps around, kind of regardless of where we went. It's because there's a fourth monkey. The one that wasn't on the screen. And he just follows you around invisible-like. Bitch. So you're supposed to pick up on that by watching the little yellow footprints behind you, and the fact that everywhere you go you hear monkeys. It can be a little annoying if you don't know what you're looking for, but fairly straightforward if you've done it once.
Please, forgive them. They only sought to keep me hidden. However, it seems it was not meant to be. Close your eyes. Let us meet at the inner sanctum.
That's how you know it was actually a boss battle. You get a memory out of it. Cool. So if you ever want to go back to that place for whatever reason, you can go through this spooky light portal. But otherwise, you can just teleport around. So that's what we'll do. Meet with your idol. Step a little bit, and then go. Oh, sit back at our idol, contemplate our memories for a moment. Yeah, departed souls of the divine children drift and sway, taking shelter in the monkeys of the temple. Such is why the Divine Child Rejuvenation speaks to them as friends. What went down at Senpo Temple is pretty dark. We're going to talk to the Divine Child first, and then we'll go over it a little bit.
Why do you seek this place?
I seek the mortal blade.
Do you know of the blade that cannot be drawn?
Yes.
It is so called, for not one who has drawn it has ever survived. Yet you still wish to attempt this.
I do.
Yes.
I see. Very well.
I am a professional shinobi. I know what I'm about, child.
If you are prepared, you may gaze upon the blade. Is it, I wonder? Are they not loath to die?
I wonder how many people she's watched just die like that.
How are you? Your eye. I see. You carry the curse of the dragon's heritage.
The mortal blade. Without question. I accept its power.
What about professional shinobi? Did you not understand, child? Cool. So we got the mortal blade. We also get the mortal draw, which is a cool ability. Basically, you can make this sort of distant red murder slash of Dragon Ball Z-esque energy. It's got its uses. Cool thing about having the mortal blade is now we can kill immortal enemies like those goddamn centipede monks. Bad news. You don't actually use the mortal blade. This is not like a replacement for your sword. You only get it in like for certain moves. Doesn't really change a whole lot, but I don't know. I feel like if you get like a cool magic murder sword, you should utilize it more often. But you know, Wolf is attached to his tools. I get that. You get into a groove of things. Alright, so the Mortal Blade. Nodachi, capable of slaying the Undying. Its crimson blade will take the life of any who dares draw it, except for us. Without the power of resurrection, one could not hope to wield this weapon, which allows one to defeat even infested beings. Long concealed within Senpo Temple, the blade is inscribed with its true name, Gracious Gift of Tears, which is a baller name. I love that name for the sword. I love that name for everything. I want to learn the actual Japanese word for that. I've looked it up on a couple of occasions, but if I ever have a daughter, that's what I'm going to name her, because names are powerful, and I feel like if you go into the world with a name like the Gracious Gift of Tears, like, you're going to do all right. Like, that's quite the that's quite the fate to have hanging over your head. I will refer to her only as Little Knife. This is canon now. This is canon, this is law.
I see you serve the divine heir of the dragon's heritage.
Yes.
Why do you seek the mortal blade?
I wish to obtain the dragon tears from the divine realm to sever the ties
fight God.
of immortality.
I see. I have read about this. I have read there is a way to sever the dragon's heritage. Which means the divine heir begrudges the power of the dragon's heritage.
That's right.
How strange fate can be. I am one of the children of the rejuvenating waters, created by those who would stop at nothing to achieve immortality. My false dragon's blood was created by man.
Children. So there are many of you.
I am the only one who survived the process. The others are laid to rest here.
I see.
I do not know if it is right to sever the ties of immortality, but the dragon's heritage undeniably corrupts the lives of men, and I share the heir's feelings about that truth. Shinobi of the divine heir, I have decided to assist you. Please, hold out your hand.
What?
Bless us with bountiful harvest.
And she gives us rice. Rice that spilled from the palms of the child of rejuvenation. Gradually recovers vitality for a time. Even in falsehood, the power of the dragon's blood brings a bountiful harvest. Rice is precious. The flavor grows richer with each bite and is sure to raise one's spirits. So mechanically, this is just like another healing item. You can only keep one on you at a given time. Though you can always come back to the child to get more. But if you have some on you, she won't make any. It works kind of like a pellet, like a souped up pellet. So you'll recover health over a period of time. It's a handy thing to have around, honestly. But since you can only have one, you know, pick your battles. I also like that part of her powers as an immortal child being is that she can just summon rice.
This is rice.
There you are. Rice is a precious thing. It tastes better the more you eat it. It restores one's vigor.
'Cause Let's see if she's got more
Shinobi of the
dialogue.
Divine Heir, you are welcome here.
Yeah, so we can always request rice. Right now she won't have
I
anything. If we just do this,
apologize.
she'll say,
Shinobi of the Divine Heir, the rice is not yet ready for harvest. I shall give you more when the harvest is complete.
also she says the word harvest a lot. And so she's the one we actually want to give this thing to. So if you remember, that monk told us to. If not, the quest line would play it a little bit differently, but we're going to give it to her now, so that she can work, so we can move her quest line forward. This is one of those key things you got to do if you want to get the true ending, like the ending that implies the next game.
This is for you.
What is this?
I was told to give this to you.
Thank you. I will accept it.
What's wrong?
I still cannot help but detest them.
Yeah, fair
Farewell,
enough.
Shinobi. May the harvest be plentiful wherever your path may lead.
You too. Yeah, so basically, that dude we met before, who gave us that book, is the guy who founded Senpo Temple. And they were a Buddhist group, and I don't know how much you know about Buddhism. You know, it's all about breaking from the wheel of birth and death. But this guy basically came to the conclusion that to reach that level took more time than most people were going to have in a lifetime. And so he thought that the way to do that was to become immortal, and then through the time you'd have there to sort of realize how it was that you could reach nirvana and separate yourself from the karmic wheel, more or less. They used these rejuvenating waters, which are important and unique to Ashina, and we'll get to those later. But they were really trying to figure out how to recreate what had happened with the Divine Heir. So the Divine Heir's got some crazy resurrection immortality powers. You know, the dude can't be cut or killed, and he can pass that on to someone. And they were trying to recreate that through experiments, and they were doing it on children. And almost all of those children died. All of those pinwheels and little Jizo statues are representative of children who died in this process. So it's hundreds, if not thousands, of them. You know, the implication is that this temple wasn't always quite this way. It had sort of worked its way to it. The people they'd hired as bodyguards, those little short guys, they eventually hired to go grab children and bring them back to be part of these experiments. Most of them died. The ones that didn't, interestingly enough, became the Taro Troop. So those big, giant, slow characters we've been fighting around. Whatever that process was, did make them more robust, obviously, but it also seemed to take away their ability to think well. So it kind of destroyed their brains, which is why our little buddy who was crying down there was having so much trouble remembering things. But one made it. One actually succeeded. Here, the Divine Child. And then, interestingly enough, as soon as it succeeded, she sort of got pulled into that wild illusory hall place where the souls of the dead children hang out, protected by the monkey spirits. And then became inaccessible even to the monks. So even though they succeeded, they couldn't do anything about it. And our head monk dude, if you remember our conversation with him, he apparently came to the conclusion that he'd made a mistake, that his path was incorrect. So he regretted it, which is why he gave you that book to give to her. Now that's a lot of background lore stuff. If you're interested in the horrors that happened here at Senpo Temple, though, it's pretty interesting. Let's see. So we got a pellet. And if we Going over here. We can open this here gate. So we can kill those dudes now. I'm not going to. It's not really worth it. You don't get anything from it. They don't give you a lot of stuff, but now we don't have to go through all of that rigmarole to get to the Inner Sanctum. We can just walk here or teleport there. But yeah, and then we know a little bit about these guys. So drinking the rejuvenating waters is what leads one to become this weird infested thing. There's some interesting speculation about how that goes. I'm not going to get into it now, but basically that's what's going on at Senpo. These guys are trying to become immortal by becoming infested with these terrifying centipede creatures so that they can contemplate nirvana and achieve enlightenment. And to do that, they're murdering children they've captured from across the land. The Divine Child thinks that that's probably not great. But that's enough for Senpo. We got our Mortal Blade. That's exciting. We're going to travel back to Ashina Castle real quick, because I forgot to open up a thing. I think this is the one we want. We're just going to wrap this up real quick, and then I'll switch recordings, because we're hitting our hour mark. After this is going to be a bit more combat intensive, so I figure we might as well do the last little bit of our due diligence, as a as a former manager would say. Also, we're going to use that rice a lot. Using it and getting it is actually part of our quest line with the little girl. This is why it's hard to understand From Software games, because if you don't do a bunch of stuff, you miss so many things. If you don't keep returning to people, if you don't use items, if you don't play around with the worlds. So we'll kill that guy. And we're actually going to hop down here. It's just a bunch of guys. Ah! Mistakes were made. We didn't even get a single assassination. Oh, no. No. Down. That's something. We're just trying to clear people out at this point. Oh no! Oh, we're stuck. Remember that part where I was a professional shinobi? Can't be missing those. Ah, no! Okay, so, you know, admittedly that could have gone better. But we're not dead. And that's something. Some more eel liver. Got this sweet chest. Got some Gokan sugar. Gohan. We're just gonna open up some shortcuts, basically. Yeah. So we're gonna go there in a minute. There's one more door. Now this is that main gate door. So if you remember right when we first got to the castle. There we go. When we first got to the castle, we actually appeared down below. And then there was a guy giving a speech here and we had to murder him in an epic trial by combat. And this door was locked. Well, now it's open. So I can run through here. And then go to this other section of Ashina Castle. Where we've got this big old pool of water. Into this guy. It's honestly a pain in the ass, but kind of funny throughout the game. So we're gonna beat through this real quick. And then we're gonna make our way to this idol. And grab it. So this is all the idols. I think we now got all the idols in and around the Ashina Castle area. So we'll rest to get back all the stuff I lost on that terrible bit of swordsmanship. Woo! Cool. Alright, so we're sitting at the 70-minute mark, more or less, so I'm going to end this recording now. Use it as an opportunity to gather myself, get more booze and whatnot, get a little bit drunker, and then we'll hop into it. Give me about 15 minutes. I'll set a timer, and we'll be back and hop into our deepest, darkest memories and confront all the horrors of our past. I'm looking forward to it.